Welcome back, everybody. Level M Diecast. A little bit of I knew this was coming, but didn't know this was coming, I guess you can say. This is the Real Working Rigs 4-pack that was just released. This is an online thing. I don't anticipate this probably showing up at retail, except maybe some specialty or oddball places, maybe. Potentially, maybe a Kohl's or something. I'm not sure. But you can buy this online. This came to me courtesy of Village Diecast. I do appreciate that, Marco. Thank you very much. He did send this to me. Very appreciative of that. So if you want to pick this up, you can definitely go to Village Diecast, pick that up. They do have a ton of Matchbox, including all the new 12 packs we've been talking about as well. So this one, obviously, as you can see here, it does consist of 4 models. You can kind of guess which 4 models it does consist of. These are all the previous release because, yes, like most everything Matchbox has been doing recently, a lot of reissues consistently. This pack includes the grader, the attenuator, the cement king, and then, of course, the crane truck. These are all the previous releases we've got this far. The grader and the cement truck have been just once, but the attenuator we've gotten twice already. The initial release and then a reissue, and then, of course, the Rannick crane was issued in the original Real Working Rigs, and then, of course, this was reissued in Real Working Rigs 2.0. If you're new to the channel, I refer to the coming back of Real Working Rigs 2 or 3 years ago, the Real Working Rigs 2.0, I guess you can say. So this is the pack, obviously, in the back. This is the box. There are the deets, should you want the deets of the box. It does show you what it comes with right there. They are loose in the box. Open it up kind of like a pizza box. It is in a plastic tray, as you can see here. These are the 4 models included. Like I said, they are in there loose, nothing fancy. Taking a look at the road grader for the first one. This is, again, just a reissue version of a previous guy, which is right here. You can see that the yellows are significantly different between the two. Although all the tampos are going to be the same. I mean, the yellows are dramatically different. It doesn't even do justice on the camera. I assure you, the yellows are quite dramatic. So this one on the top is our new one. That is R21. This one here that we will put above him, that is the original one. That is L42. There are some base changes on here as well. You can see in between the axles, they did move the name. The original one just had Matchbox on it. The new one now has the Matchbox road grader down there. They are still both made in Thailand. So is that on the front. And then, of course, your kind of metal parts on the blade here. They put the little symbol right there for the elephant, which is a tribute to the Thailand factory, which is pretty nice. So this one has a significant base variation. So that is a very good thing. I'm very happy with that. You guys know that we do have every single Real Working Rig ever made here at Level M, and we try to keep that that trend going on. So that's another nice one to add to the mix. All right, we're going to take a look at the GMC attenuator. This has been one of the cooler oddball additions to the Real Working Rig line, but it's been the most dismal because this thing has just been released and released and released and released. We've seen this thing, I think, looking in the display, which is just to the left. We have 3 versions of the orange one of the white and blue one, and then we have 2 yellows, and now we have this one. So 2 of the 3 decos have been released now 3 times, which is just absolutely bonkers. These are the 2 first releases. So the one on the bottom, N38, is the absolute original release, and then, of course, it was re-released P24. Which was just last year. So the 2 years before that. So this came out in the Real Working Rigs 2.0 kind of debut year. And then they re-released it here. There are some changes between the 2 of these. There's a pretty significant shade variation between the 2 bases on this. And there's some print detail variations as well. On the back here, the size of the font, kind of the thickness of the paint and stuff like that. Just nothing really fancy. Looking at the shield details in there, again, there's a lot of quality of print, changes between the 2. But the tampos are exactly the same. So we'll put the original one back there. So we have P24. This is our new one here, which is R21. Taking a look at the base, again, there's a little bit of a shade variation, but really nothing there. The base has not been modified, as you can see. It is all the same. Nothing changed there. The interior parts are the same. We're going to have our previous one on the left versus the current one on the right. These ones look to be exact between the two. Font sizes and everything. The chevron size, taillight type print on there as well. Prints even on the top of the attenuator there versus MBX County. The arrows are the same. Yellows are the same between the two. Just taking a look at the shield detail on the side. No difference between the prints, unfortunately. Same old, same old. They do have some green in there with black and white. Just, quality of prints for sure, just depending on how the tempo pass went. I can tell you the one on the bottom is a little bit better quality, but the same wheels and the same color wheels. They do not have any front tempo on either one of them. Interior, colors are the same. Yellows are even the same as well. You're going to see a little bit based on just the right shading or the right light and stuff like that, but there's nothing difference between the two. This one is one of the worst ones. This one is so close to each other on all of them. It's just not good. Get that guy to slide. Hopefully. It barely fits in there. All right, we're going to take a look at the Cement King. So this was the retool from the Mercedes-Benz Actros Cement, cab or whatever from the original Real Working Rigs. Obviously, they made this a generic to cut down on cost, but it still has all the same moving features. It's actually even the same deco that was originally debuted. This is going to be our new one. So this original one, this one is going to be dated in 12. See that right there on the left. So this is our brand new one. We're going to put our brand new one on the top. You can see there is a ridiculous difference in yellow. For the new one on the top is much lighter yellow. Night and day. The barrel is all the same though. King Concrete is the brand. Of course, it is the Cement King, of course. It does say King Concrete on the cab as well with some number detail on there. It is the same number between the two. Same wheels, same chrome foil print. There are no rear prints on this. Same, chevron-ish kind of markings on the back of the barrel. They both move. Of course, the thing to dump it out does not have any front tampos on this particular model. Same deets on the other side. Nothing changing there. Nothing doing. Original will be on the bottom. See if there's any base changes. Taking a look at this, it is Cement King HD is its official name. Doesn't look like there's any changes to the base. They've also, assembled it the same. The original GMC attenuator that was in orange, the original one was screwed, and then they moved to the the triangle screws. So it's just pretty nice that we got a little bit of a different variation on that one. All right, moving on to the Rannick crane. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Rannick. Rannick is the best deco they've ever done. Running theme. It's way better than Ink deco. I love Rannick. It's absolute best in the opinion of Level M. But we really need a new deco on this crane. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And to be honest with you, we need to see ink construction on this crane. We absolutely need to see ink construction. This is, I believe this one is the original. This is dated in 38. Yep, this is the original release of this casting. They re-released the deco right here. That is, this one is the original. B46. So you see that right there with the black print. This is the original release. This one was the re-release in 38. There are significant changes between the oranges between the two. All the orange on the, here. The new one is way lighter than the original. So a little bit different between the two, but that's all there is. There's no other difference between the two. There's no difference between the bases. All those deets are the same. They did change where some of the printing was. So you see on the original one on the bottom, it does have Thailand right here. On the new one, it has the Real Working Rig number. And then on the other side, it just says crane. So it doesn't need to have a fancy name apparently, just needs to say crane, which is perfectly fine. This is the newest version. Still does all the same thing that the crane does, still lift up, and does have a one-stage boom. This is a fixed hook, so that way when it's sitting there, it's relatively where it should be. This is actually a hydraulic unit, so it's pretty nice. And then, of course, 360 spin, just like you'd expect. No outriggers, obviously, at this scale. So this is the previous one that they did. This is the newer one that they did here now at the top. The prints are the same. Still says 3000 Rannick. I can tell you that the grays are much different. You can see that. The top one is definitely a matte gray versus the satin gray here. That is quite dramatic. It's actually really dramatic. If you see this in person, it's kind of night and day. I'm actually really taken back by that. I'm very happy about that. It's that different. It looks super good too. Original one on the left, new one on the right. The orange color in the prints look the same, much better than the original two. And then of course just the light tinted window. Nothing fancy about that. It does have the same upgraded base. So it just says crane, still assembled the same way. So, you know, nothing fancy, but it's okay. We'll take it. That gray, being that it's so different, is pretty nice. So there you go. Nice, quick, simple, easy review. We do like to make sure that we cover all real working rig stuff on the channel. That is my absolute favorite thing for Matchbox. Definitely a staple of Level M for sure. I will link the complete walkthrough of the real working rig line as of the date of those videos. There's been many added since, but that was completely up to date at the time. So if you really like real working rigs, definitely check that out. It's somewhere here. Could be there, could be there. Probably going to be over here though. So anyways, we're going to roll out. Appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. Level M Diecast. Peace.